It's not lost in me, ladies and gentlemen, that the impact of divorce on children is truly profound. It's actually really sickening. Kids are fragile. Their egos are fragile. Their state of mind is vulnerable. They're trying to find their way in the world. Their friendships are uncertain. There's constant change in their lives as they grow and mature. Their friends change, their teachers change, their seats change, their schedules change, their everything changes practically from day to day, minute to minute. Everything is unique to them, and it's all a learning experience. And very likely, if you have minor children, they're not really old enough. And what is old enough anyway? They're very likely not old enough to really understand what divorce is, what it means. And now suddenly you're telling them that their parents, for the most part, despise each other, can't stand each other, want to say terrible things about each other. And now they have two houses. And now they have two rooms to the extent they even have their own bedroom. And now perhaps they have step parents in their lives who may or may not love them the way that the original parent does, bio parent. And they may have blended families. There might be other children involved in the equation as well. So now their entire lives are completely uprooted. And when they need help, there are fewer people to help them because of work schedules, because of personal entanglements, because of finances, because of everything. And now when somebody really needs help, those kids need advice, those kids need companionship, the kids need somebody to make dinner. It's possible that that is not available. And this leads to further destabilization and insecurity. It is seen all of the time when kids suddenly refuse to do their homework because their parents are getting a divorce and they say, YOLO, what the heck? Who cares anyway? Nobody's checking it. Nobody makes me do my homework anymore. Nobody knows what I'm doing. Nobody cares about me. So why should I care about anything or anyone else, let alone stupid homework assignments at school? This is really tragic because it is putting external pressures onto children that cause them to have problems at school. It causes them to have behavioral problems where their friends might not want to be around them and they lose friendships. It causes them to act inwardly and to become introspective rather than extroverted. It causes them to feel like there's no security, there's no stability, and there's nowhere that they truly feel comfortable. Imagine that horrible feeling. Imagine what you feel during your 6 months to 2 years of divorce. Imagine that your kid or children might feel that for their entire life. And the impact of that will impact all of their relationships, their worldview, especially if there are things like alcohol, gambling, cheating, and things like that in a relationship. The children might not hear it directly if the parents are actually careful, but they are going to see it. They are going to live through it. This is going to potentially warp their mindset, which is why we often see one parent seeking therapy for the children, but then the other parent, without considering the impact on the children, doesn't like therapy or thinks it's being used for litigation, which sadly and unfortunately it often is, for fact witness purposes, and then expert witness purposes based on the fact witness's testimony and reports. It's often used for litigation. And in that sense, although I don't necessarily agree with it in every case, now we have a battle over the kid's therapist, a battle over the kid's pediatrician, a battle over who carries health insurance, a battle over extracurricular activities. And the parents, and forgive me, there's a little language here, the parents take their epic shit show and they bring their drama into the lives of their children and they poison the well. So, thinking rationally and logically, what are some things you can do to help avoid the impact of divorce on children? Well, one is potentially therapy. One is sitting down with both parents to the extent possible and explaining to the child that you're going to have separate places, but you are a unified front and the rules are not going to be terribly different per household, and you're both holding your kids to a high standard. And these things are very important. These things really matter. You have to assure that child that their life, although already uprooted, is not going to be severely uprooted or damaging or terrible. You have to give your kids extra love. not less love, extra attention, not less attention, more of your time, not less of your time. And most of all, though it seems impossible with your own stresses at work, your own finances, your own romantic life having been essentially disintegrated, and your finances being in essentially a state of complete division, on top of all of that, now you have to be more patient for your kids. Well, yeah, because they matter more than you do.